And now I'm going to jump over here to the truck. And what I'm doing with the truck is I'm taking the 3-inch lowering blocks out and putting the 1-inch lowering blocks back in. That'll raise the rear end up just enough, because right now the back wheels were tucking. Now they'll be right pretty much at the fender well. It's still jacked up, so it's not going to be this high. It'll come down quite a bit. Basically what all the weight's going to ride on is the overload spring, because I don't have a center spring. If I think I need to, after hauling it a couple times, then I'll come back and I'll go to the junkyard and find a center leaf out of another leaf spring and just bring it and put it on. So, all right, let me get this done. 8 a.m. Saturday morning. My little girl's doing laps around the house next door. Say hi. You're not gonna say hi? Well, she's being just like you. Huh? The no talkers. I told her to say hi. She just looked at me and grinned and kept driving. Say hi. All right. So like I said, now I'm gonna raise the front end back up. I'm gonna leave the rear end low because I don't want to raise it all the way back up. I found some springs from a truck up in, I believe it was Oregon or Washington, a used hilux. So I'm gonna put the regular springs back on. I gotta get these popped off. Got her over there putting the lug nuts on. Turn it the other way, baby.
This way?
Yes.
Okay.
Good job. Let's watch her technique. Because if a 4.5-year-old can do it, you can do it.
She's that one handle.
She doesn't want it to fall off again.
I don't blame her. Good job.
All right, get that sucker tight. I almost said SOB.
She pulled herself.
All right, get the other ones now. Daddy will still have to go back and get them a little tighter.
She's going across too.
Hey, guess what?
Huh?
I did it the same way you did.
Yeah, you did. Let me see your shirt. What's it say? Come on. What did Mommy tell you it was?
I don't remember.
Daddy's mini-me?
Daddy's mini-me.
Alright, so meanwhile she does that, I've got the one side done. There's the cut spring, so if I ever want to go low again, I can go lower. I want to get the front end up because we always have that problem of the water running out the back, or holding in the back, so the front end needs to be higher than the rear. Besides, that's how many trucks usually ride anyway, ride in Cali. So I got to go the spring on the other side, and I'll be done with the truck. I think next I'm going to work on getting the trailer hitch, or the receiver hitch, mounted on this truck. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking I might have some problems. I may have to make a couple modifications to get it in there. I'm not sure. Toyota has a rear cross member that's way back, so I don't know if it's going to fit or not because of how short the truck is. I'll find out once I get up in there. Those muscles.
Good job.
They're both all the same.
They're all on the same now?
Yep.
All right. Daddy's going to try and tighten it down just a little bit more, and then we'll move on to the next we'll move on to the other side, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now the truck's lifted back up. Got the stock springs back on it with no cuts in them, so it sits up a lot higher. But now it's where I want it to be so that we can start hauling stuff with it where it's not going to ride hard. I know we ride stuff on the ground all the time, but I'm just tired of my back hurting, so that's why it's raised up. I bought this Reese hitch. Looking underneath there, I don't have a bumper or the bumper brackets that go to this truck. So I'm going to pull the bed off and see how I can get this mounted up straight to the frame so that it'll be nice and solid and be able to haul or pull a trailer without dropping it on the ground and ruining it. So let's get this done. All right, so we pulled the bed off. Now the bed is sitting in the street. Looking at this, I don't have very much frame on the back. Normally, I was looking at it, this piece right here goes under the frame and bolts to the frame. But as you can see, this would go from here all the way to there. So the leaf spring hanger's in the way. Other trucks actually have a bumper mount that's bolted in here that drops down. That's another place to mount this up to. Mine doesn't have a back bumper. So the other thing I was thinking of is I don't really need this rear bed mount, because right in front of it there's another bed mount. So what I'm going to do is I'm planning on taking this, which goes into that like that. It slides into it to hold it up. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to drill me some 3 mounting holes right through the frame and then go through here and bolt it up. That's my plan, to get this to sit on here the way it needs to be sitting. So I have to cut this off. We had to take the spare tire out because it's too close to the back tire. So that's another thing that stops us from putting it right there. So many things, yay. All right, let's get to cutting. All right, so we actually got it on here, but I wanted to show you guys what we did. What we did was we put one of these on this side, and then we put a C-clamp to hold it in place so that it was level with the top of the frame. And then I drilled the 3 holes, and then we put the bolts through on both sides to hold the hitch, because this is how this is going to be mounted on this truck. So what we're running into now is that these holes don't necessarily line up, but we got to drill 1 hole straight through to line it up, and then we're going to put some bolts on it, and then that part will be done. All right, got the hitch hooked up. All we had to do is put those other 2 bolts on there to stop that from sliding back and forth. Got Cody's 4-wheeler out here for right now. What do you reckon this weighs?
About 800 pounds.
800 or 900 pounds, and then he's got this double length trailer for hauling 2 4-wheelers. He's got it balanced, so it's not really squatting. It squats a little bit more than that, about probably what? I think about only about another 3 inches, because it's on the overload springs. So let me see. I'm gonna have him record, and then if you just stand here. Well, actually, come over here on this side, and then that way you can get a shot. I'm gonna go down the street down here and turn around.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Well, after that, let's look at the truck. Could be worse. He caught the bottom of the light, so that's not entirely bad. Got to bend the tailgate back in, pull some of that back out. It'll be noticeable, but it was better than that getting away from me and going in there. So Cody, what happened?
I'm a fucktard.
You're a what?
Fucktard, forgot to latch it down. It's all my fault.
That's what happened. He forgot to lock it in. And because I don't know his trailer, I didn't know to look for the rust spot being showing. But when that happened, it got loose and it wanted to go straight towards that person's vehicle out that way. So the only option I had was to just sacrifice the truck and slam right into it to stop the trailer from going anywhere. That could have ended up even worse. That would have been an insurance claim and all kinds of other stuff. There we go. How about thumb up for almost fucking everything up? Anyway, it's got a hitch. It pulls it nicely. I wanted to show you guys going down there and back. I still made it back. Alright. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I'm sure we're going to fuck something else up. I don't know. Hopefully not.
Latch your trailers.
Don't forget to latch your trailers. Yeah, thumb up for latching trailers. See y'all next time.